Police in Spain and France have broken up an international smuggling ring that are smuggling what?
You would assume drugs or something, but because we're talking about it, it's probably not drugs. I don't know. What can you... dildos. Illegally
It's a similar
smuggled dildos.
shape.
Oh, okay.
But no, police in Spain and France break up an international eel smuggling gang.
Okay.
27 people and tons of baby eels have been arrested, and 2.2 million euros worth of eels, 1.5 tons of eels.
Well, first of all, when I said dildos and you said it was a similar shape, you're either getting the wrong dildos or the wrong eels. I'm not sure which is happening.
Or the right version of both.
Possibly. But that's a lot of eels. But how? I don't understand why it's illegal how you can smuggle them. Like, can't you just ship them somewhere?
They can fetch up to 5,000 euros a kilogram.
Wow, that's crazy.
So no point putting meth up your ass next time you travel.
Now you tell me.
Why not both?
Wow.
Surely we've all seen the Japanese home movies there where eels may have been.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's our favorite movies of all time. Yeah, that's a lot of money for eels. I did not know that was the case. So
they were tipped off that there were irregularities in the European trade of eels, and then they soon uncovered a criminal gang. So it seems like they actually got away with it, and it was only the fact that there were so many eels that they realized something was wrong.
Organized crime has changed. It's like they used to be into all kinds of cool things, like, casinos and strippers and all kinds of like, sexy movie things. But now eels. Nah. Come on, man. What's going on here?
And and they're also a group of fishers. So the people that were doing it fishermen. So yes, organized crime people have changed from flashy mafia dudes in suits to fishermen.
Those bastards. I knew they were up to no good. Just smuggling eels here, there, and everywhere.
And they were carrying it in their luggage.
I just feel like there's an awful lot of things wrong with this story. Oh, great. We have an eel. What do we do with it? Just put it in with your shirts and your underwear. It's fine.
Yeah, you wouldn't want it to like spill in your luggage.
Yeah. No. That's kind of also, imagine being the law enforcement person and you get this phone call to tip off. I think they're smuggling eels. Like, who cares? And you're like, oh no, this is actually a lot. We have to do something about this. This is terrible.
I feel like we should start like
smuggling
calling in fake tip-offs about obscure items that are. There's a pen epidemic. Illegal pens. 16 million illegal pens were sold in the marketplace last year.
I happen to have it on good authority that there's a lot of pens that were smuggled into the country illegally in people's luggage. Should look into that.
There were illegal coffee cups.
Oh, they're the worst.
Normally they sell for 5 cents. They've been selling them at 3 cents. Wow. Undercutting the market.
Disgraceful. But also, we should call in that there's a smuggling ring smuggling gerbils. You know exactly where they're smuggling them.
You call in as Dave the Gerbil Man and say that you're famous online for inserting gerbils in certain places. And because you hold certain records and are well known, they approached you with an offer that you couldn't refuse, but you felt wrong. So you did it a few times, but you want to come clean now and say that, yes, I illegally smuggled gerbils.
It is my life's goal to be one of those guys on a crime TV show that's like just blacked out and the voice has changed. It came to me with an offer I couldn't refuse. What could I do?
Although there's one, I think it might be Vice or someone like that has been doing it with, they have like industry insiders, but it's like I work in a restaurant and the restaurant industry is wrong. And so it's a guy like with their whole face blacked out or whatever, or they have a ski mask on and they're talking about the restaurant that they work at serves dodgy food or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing near as sexy as, dealing in meth or
eels.
Or eels. Baby eels.
Who decided to smuggle eels? What the fuck? Like, that just seems like the most random thing. But hey.
Yeah. And then, ironically, so then the ones that they recovered are going to be transferred to a government fish farm where they would be released into the wild. But then won't they just then, in theory, get caught by local fishermen who
will totally not smuggle them somewhere else?
They say that by doing so, we will achieve one of the most difficult aims of the fight against trafficking, which is complete reintroduction of the sea specimens so as to contribute to their long-term conservation.
I mean, okay. I don't believe it, but all right.
Yeah.
Good luck with that goal. All the best. Wow.
Yeah. Now I'll be, catching eels.
Now I know how expensive they are. It's worth it. It's worth putting some investment into getting some eel catching equipment.
Some official ones rather than your hands.
Yeah, exactly.
So, what should you use to fish if you were going to do that? What equipment would you use?
I mean, fishing rod and some
what should you not use then?
What should you not use? I don't know, a grenade. Referring back to an old episode of some TV show. I don't know. Explosives of some kind, or what did we talk about last week? They were putting weights in their fish. So I don't know, some sort of robot fish catcher.
The game wardens in Kansas have had to let people know, Kansas Wildlife and Parks game wardens in Finney County have had to let people know, do not use guns to fish. And they've specifically said shooting in a body of water can be a dangerous activity because bullets can ricochet off the surface of the water.
Only in America. What that needed. Like, really? Come on, man. Yeah. Even when I was thinking of the most far-fetched idea of what you wouldn't use for fishing, guns did not come to mind. Because I was like, no one's going to be that stupid. But here we are. So.
Yeah. Well, now you know not to.
I'm glad they put out official word from the county office. Say, don't use guns to shoot your fish, please. God.
Yeah, they said they seized a gun and ticketed the person for allegedly using illegal means to take fish and for not having a fishing license.
There you go. Probably got in more trouble for not having a fishing license than trying to shoot them. But there you go. Crazy.
Yeah, just shoot randomly into a... I don't even understand the logic of it. How are you supposed to shoot a fish?
I don't know. It makes no sense. But hey, there you go. That's how things work in that part of the world.
If we continue on in Kansas, what should you not wear if you're going to drink drive?
Flip-flops.
Well, that's one thing.
If you're going to drink, what should you not wear? I don't know. A summer hat.
Oddly, today I saw one on the side of the road, but it's like winter here and raining, and someone somehow lost one.
Is it a pair of women's panties?
No, flip-flops.
Oh, flip-flops? Oh, yeah. Well, people are fucking crazy.
It's just amazing the amount of random clothes that are...
Yeah, I always wonder how clothes end up at the side of the road. You're like, what happened? What did you do? How did you... You're just walking and you're like, fuck this, I'm not wearing clothes anymore. Hey, there you go. People are bizarre. But yeah. Well, anyway, so what are we talking about here?
A driver in Kansas was dressed as a beer can when they got arrested for drink driving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of a bad look when you're getting arrested for drink driving. I would say, go more neutral if you're going to be caught with that. But that's pretty funny.
You got to be a bit more subtle.
That is one of those things where like, there's no way when I'm dressed as a beer can, I'm going to get pulled over. Only happen when I'm dressed normally. No. Wow.
Geez, the penalties there are pretty low. A person who's convicted of drunk driving faces 48 hours of mandatory imprisonment or 100 hours of community service.
Wow.
And fined $500 to $1,000 plus court costs. But that's like nothing.
Yeah. There you go. It must be just so common that they're like, whatever.
Well, yeah, that's why you wear a beer can. Just like, I'll take my 48 hours in the cell in this beer can.
Yeah, it could be a life-changing experience, because beer cans don't do well in prison. There you go.
Yeah. Now, if you were drink driving in Vegas and you wanted to bribe your way out of it, how much would you offer the police?
I don't. I'm not good at bribing police. My current record is not good. Say like $500 dollars.
You'd hit it on the head.
Yeah, there we go.
Repeat drunk driver offers $500 bribe after latest crash.
Perfect.
So she had 3 prior DUIs on her record. Yeah, which is probably not going to help your case and probably doesn't benefit you. If you're going to bribe police, you got to offer enough to make it worth their while.
True. So this person was offered a bribe and then was rejected, and then it was brought up in court to add to their case, trying to bribe a police officer. That's terrible.
Well, yeah, she also, her car, a Cadillac SUV, had its front end crushed into another car, police said. So
that's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's probably at least a like $10,000 bribe, you would think, to try.
Yeah.
Well, you got to be like less specific and ask them to give you a price.
What do you want to let me away with this? Whatever he says, you're just going to have to pony up. It's gonna get away with it, but it's gonna be, you're gonna have to go through the motions.
That does remind me of a video I was just watching where they this is genius. They went up to multiple taxis in a row and they asked them, can you take me to this place? And then when they said, yeah, sure. And they're like, if I let you suck my dick, will you take me for free? And they did like 5 in a row in a line of taxis, right? Then the 6th one, they don't say any of that. And they just said, these people wouldn't take me there. Will you take me there? So then all the other taxis are looking, thinking that this guy's accepted the offer.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Just to be that taxi driver, he's never gonna be about that. He'd be like, no, we never offered that whatsoever. Oh, sure. Took you longer to get back though.
Now, if you sent $1.5 million to the wrong person,
mm-hmm.
Who would be the worst person you could accidentally send it to?
You. I would imagine so. Yeah, that's my answer. Okay. But another person would be, I know, someone like a Donald Trump for his campaign for something, or yeah, there's a lot of, I mean, it's not a good thing to send $1.5 million to the wrong person, no matter who it is. So. Yeah,
but if you send it to Jared from Subway.
No, don't send it to him. You know what he's going to do with it.
So they they sent it by Bitcoin. When transferring the funds to someone else, they put the wrong address. And they sent it to someone with the name of Jared from Subway.
Nice. Yeah, you don't. I mean, raises a lot of questions. Why are you sending Jared from Subway lots of money? Yeah.
I just really like the Subways.
He changed my life because of the diet. No, there was something else. Yeah, there you go. Also, be responsible when you're naming your wallet for your cryptos. If you're not Jared from Subway, that's not a good name to use. So just in case it's not him, don't use that name. It doesn't have the good feelings you think it might have anymore.
Then so do you know who SBF is? Sam Bankman-Fried?
Yes, I do. Dickhead.
So he is trying to dismiss the charges from the FTX scandal.
Mm-hmm.
Because he says dishonesty and unfair dealing, and those are in quotes, aren't fraud.
I mean, there's like the definition of fraud, but yeah, no. I mean, this dude is gonna go get like the whole book thrown at him like 16 times. So he's clasping at whatever he can, but yeah, there's no way that dishonesty is not fraud. It's literally the exact thing it's there for. So.
Well, apparently they're trying to say that he's guilty of lying, but not guilty of violating U.S. laws.
I mean,
and that they lied on a U.S. bank application to open an account. Mm-hmm. But just because the bank was deprived of the opportunity to conduct enhanced due diligence and review before opening the account, that doesn't mean that he committed bank fraud.
So he was taking other people's money and basically gambling with it and hoping it would go, his gambles would pay off. And when they didn't, people lost all their money. That's pretty fraudulent, in my opinion. You know, people didn't know he was using their money for that sort of shit. So, So yeah, I think he should be. Like someone should just shove an eel up his ass. That's what I think should happen to him.
Yeah,
Not
I feel like he
unusual.
should be made to repay his payments in eel smuggling.
He should.
The hard
He's got to
way.
work as an eel smuggler until everyone's paid back.
That should be the new way to get off your charges. Is we'll let you off anything, but you've got to come up with a way where you can repay the money
I mean, it
in
works.
an uncomfortable monetary earning.
Yeah,
capacity.
everybody gets their money back, and he gets to be uncomfortable around eels for the rest of his life after that. So I think that works. But I also feel like saying what he did is not illegal. Like his lawyers should be disbarred for that, for trying to say he didn't do anything wrong. That's crazy.
I think his hairdresser should be
His hairdresser
disbarred from.
Yeah. They need to take some responsibility for this.
Yeah, ultimately, I think his hairdresser needs to take some responsibility.
Absolutely.
That's one of the many overlooked stories in the case, is that
Like he was worth so many billions, and his hair looked like that. Come on, dude.
yeah,
Yeah. There's something wrong.
you need your own personal hairdresser daily.
I mean, just one hairbrush. That's all. Somebody could have bought him one for Christmas or something.
Borrowed one of the orgy partners. Yeah.
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 Could have been, hair and makeup for the sex tape. Could have been coming in to set him up.
Yep.
But anyway.
Well, Australian scientists have begun doing what with koalas?
Having families. I know. Training them to be nightclub security.
No. They've had to vaccinate them against chlamydia.
Yeah, I've heard that like koalas are spreading chlamydia everywhere, which makes me wonder what the fuck is happening down in Australia when people don't get laid. They're like, find me a koala.
Imagine going to like one of these koala places and getting chlamydia and then having to explain.
No, I was just going to visit the koalas. That's all that happened there. Sorry, it's not my fault.
I think it is the ultimate explanation if you get caught.
Not when you're in Ireland. You're like, well, I moved to Australia. I was hanging out with some koalas.
But you said Australia doesn't exist. Well, about that.
It's all an excuse for what's going on. So don't worry about it. Yeah. What
Bangkok koalas, I swear.
The scientist who decided this was his life's work, I feel, is probably trying to cover up for something else as well.
Yeah. What are they up to? Especially when you got a smiling scientist in their newspaper article.
Yeah, that's always dodgy. So, yeah.
Yeah. Now the Formula One Grand Prix was in Miami, and people are complaining about the price of food.
Okay.
Now, how much would you expect to pay for nachos?
I'm going to say at an event like that, I'm going to say like $10, $12, $15. I feel like it's going to be $90 or something, but I don't know.
Even then, $275.
What for nachos? For
the ice cream though is pretty good value.
Okay.
$245.
What? Like, are you buying shares in the ice cream company, or are you just what's happening? Is it like you buy an ice cream, you get a blowjob? What's going on?
Someone posted a thing on the photo online, and they said, I thought this was in a different currency at first.
How is that? How do you get? I mean, I understand you got to make money, but who's going to pay that much money for some nachos or some ice cream? That's not a thing. So
People who don't have a choice.
I mean, you could leave and get food elsewhere. So.
And since this is America, you probably got a tip on top of that as well.
Oh shit! Yeah, yeah.
There is no way they would get a good tip. Well,
You got to tip 20%.
Fuck that.
$250 plus a 20%. So you're paying $300 for an ice cream. Fucking no way, man.
If they want a $50 tip to bring me the nachos, they can.
They can expect more than that.
Yeah. I mean, literally here, you could go to a brothel for an hour and buy 2 serves of nachos and eat them off the hooker. And I'm sure that you would still have money left over.
Still have money left over. Go back the next day for another round.
Lick an ice cream cone out of their ass and still be.
All right, I'm trying to prove a point to my friend here that nachos at the F1 Grand Prix were too expensive. So what can we do for $250?
That involves nachos and you naked.
Yeah, well.
I have a cup of salsa here. Where can I dip my salsa?
All right, now we get to the melted cheese part, so just hold still.
And this is how Australia has a problem with koalas having chlamydia.
It seems to be one of the many things that they have a problem with down there for sure. But hey, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah. A man has died from a weird thing. He had a stroke. Do you want to guess what he had a stroke? What caused his stroke?
I'm gonna guess it was something to do with being in a strip club at 3:00 in the afternoon.
Masturbating.
See, I was right.
He'd been indulging in his habit for years, but it had recently become more frequent and intense. He would stay up late watching videos and play off himself until he was completely exhausted.
Okay.
He went to Nagoya City University Hospital in Japan as he was concerned about his unexpected symptoms. Doctors discovered he had low blood pressure and was disoriented. A CT scan of his brain was performed to determine the source of his symptoms. And then he had a fatal hemorrhage thing rupturing the blood vessel in his brain. He made it through the experience and was discharged in great health after nearly 2 weeks in the hospital.
Wow.
But he was placed on a strict regimen of medications, psychotherapy, physical therapy to help him recover from the stroke.
Sure.
And he had to abstain from masturbating and address his underlying issues with a psychotherapist.
I mean, that's I don't know how I feel about that, but it sounds like a warning to those of us who are, not seeing psychotherapists right now.
Who are, only doing it 5 times a day.
So basically, once he started seeing the psychotherapist, that's when he died. Before that, he was fine. When he was,
you can't go cold turkey on masturbation.
Yeah. So he's just jerking it by himself. He's fine. He goes to the hospital. They're like, "Don't do that anymore." Then he died. So yeah. Well, sad for the bro, but yeah. Maybe he was going a bit too hard. Maybe he just got super dehydrated from all of the ejaculate that he was losing. So
yeah. Now, apparently, according to this article, Chinese wives are drugging husbands to prevent what?
I mean, there's so many, so many possibilities here. To prevent Friday night masturbation.
Prevent them from cheating. So apparently, many wives in China have reportedly been secretly feeding their husbands with drugs that causes male impotence.
Okay. That's one thing you can do.
A synthetic estrogen which can prevent men from achieving an erection. It's been widely circulating on social media recently.
I mean, they could also just, do other things to make them not want to cheat. Drugging them seems like the easy way out. And also not a good thing to do to someone. It's like, I love you so much, I drugged you so you wouldn't leave. It's kind of the wrong way to go. So.
It says the medicine took effect. So this is a quote from some woman. And just 2 weeks after I started feeding it to my husband, now he basically stays at home behaving himself well.
I mean, what if she gets horny one night and is like, "Oh, let's get it on," and he's like, "I can't." Don't know why.
They've actually had to stop selling this stuff now.
This is a craze that's coming to the rest of the world now. So, just be careful when your wife is preparing food for you. Keep a close eye.
Yeah. Or maybe this is a whole big conspiracy by Uber Eats. To get people to order takeaway so that they don't have to.
I think it's reasonable to assume that's where it originated for sure.
Yeah. I feel like we should be hired as marketing experts for different industries to help them boost sales.
I've said it for a long time. We should definitely be hired by all of these industries. We would definitely do a job for them.
A job. Probably not a good job, but a job.
No. Yeah, just a job. Just we would do a job. It'd be good for us because we get paid for having a job.
Now, what's the worst thing on a woman's body?
Sorry, the microphone's not working. Disconnected. I can't answer this question. I had something that should not be there, like I don't know, clothes. Yeah, there we go, clothes. Just take off the clothes. Yay, got out of that one, I think.
While a guy broke up with his girlfriend after their first time of doing it.
Ooh.
Now, he says, my friends had always called me a player. When I went through relationships like socks, never really taking them seriously.
I mean, you got to take socks seriously. I don't know why he would say that, but okay. All right.
That was until, especially if you're going to jerk off into them.
Yeah. It's a special bond. So anyway.
That was until I met my new girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
We met at a party and it was love at first sight.
Okay.
We talked all night and she seemed to really get me. She was everything I'd ever wanted in a woman.
Okay.
The relationship progressed really quickly, and before I knew it, we were having S. It was the first time I had ever truly been intimate with someone, and I was sure that I had found the one. Now,
this sounds like he's just met the girl, and he's like, she's the one. But okay.
It progressed so quickly that they only just then did it. But anyway, but then something happened. As we were having sex, I noticed that her nipples were dangling like tube lights. I'd never seen anything like it before, and it freaked me out.
I mean, trying to figure out what that looks like.
I'm guessing they're just long nipples.
Yeah. Okay.
I immediately stopped and just stared at her in disbelief. She seemed embarrassed and tried to cover herself up, but I couldn't look away. I just felt disgusted and embarrassed.
What is wrong with these people? I mean, yeah, it's just I don't know. I don't know. This is a story that needs visual representation. Like, how could they be that off-putting?
Well, even wilder, I couldn't believe that I'd allowed myself to get so close to someone who had such an odd physical feature. I felt betrayed and like I'd been tricked into having sex with someone who was not who I thought she was. I couldn't take it anymore, and I quickly got dressed and left. I didn't even say goodbye. I just couldn't bear to look at her.
So first of all, this seems like they hooked up one night, like they just got together one night. And in the course of everything, he was like, oh, she's got weird nipples. And then he was like, I'm disgusted. I'm out of here. Yep. This sounds to me like, I know he says that he has lots of experience with relationships and his sucks, but it sounds to me like his only interaction with actual females before this was in magazines. I don't know why.
Even then, he kind of looked at that many because
I feel like, yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of different nipples out there, but to describe them as tubular lights, I don't know. I don't know, but I feel like this is not a mature person. This is like a kid or something, like a 17-year-old who just doesn't know what he's doing. But I'm intrigued. I want to know more. I want to. Well, bless you, sir.
That's
I do hope
it's
that
the nipples have got to me.
Yeah, I do hope this lady writes a follow-up article and be like, "What's he fucking talking about? He had a micro penis anyway." I didn't even think it was in yet, and he just walked off.
Never saw him again.
Yeah. So anyway, it's a wonderful story of how not to react to people's nipples.
Yeah,
I'm so intrigued as to what these nipples look like. I've never seen terrible nipples, so I don't know.
Not at that level, like.
Not to the point, yeah, where you'd be like disgusted and get dressed and walk out without saying a word.
Now you're making me want to Google.
He's like, I was so disgusted I got close to someone. It's like, but it's on, like, why would her nipples upset you so much?
Yeah, God, do not Google terrible nipples.
No, I will not.
There is one where someone got a piercing.
Oh, okay.
Now, you know about like how people get piercings on their nipples.
Yeah.
This person got one piercing that connects both of them. And they're like stretched into the center. Now that, if you saw that, you would understand running away.
I don't understand why they would do that. That sounds terrible. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't send that to me. I don't want to see it.
Don't worry. I'll wait a while and then.
Oh my God, I know. Someday I'm just going to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning with these like nipples staring back at me.
Along with some meals.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's such a weird thing to get. Yeah.
I mean, you know, you move past it. I mean, everyone likes a nipple, but you know, just maybe just the light was set up wrong. You glanced at them in the wrong way. I just feel like you were in the wrong here, dude. So anyway.
Yeah. And as disgusting as that one was, what would be a reason that you would stop it? As you were there. Yeah. What would it take?
A polite request. Please stop doing what you're doing. I don't know. Man. Yeah.
There is a possibility that this one, so this is from a girl's perspective, describes a different situation.
All right then.
But, well, no, they actually do say what happened. So, okay. So this is from a woman, 22, female. This morning I had a guy over after chatting with him for a week on Tinder.
Sweet.
I don't know. I knew something was off in the first 10 minutes of the session because he would look down and make these facial expressions of disgust. It made me feel so insecure and off. He went soft on me throughout the session and we just called it quits.
Okay.
I asked him what was wrong and he just replies, I thought another dude finished inside you with the amount of slime you have coming there. You got to tone that down. It's a turn off for most guys.
Interesting.
She said, a real man would be elated if you're causing that. He responds, no, to me, it's gross.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah. So, I mean, once she confirms it's not another guy's slime, as he put it,
you ask for a refund. I paid extra for this.
You know, she, yeah, I don't see his problem there either. To be honest, I don't know. Maybe it's a thing. Isn't that that's like the goal in some ways? You're supposed to excite the lady, and then that happens when excitement happens from time to time. So I don't know. Yeah, again, another dude who just didn't make the best of the situation he had. So yeah. As you say, though, people would pay extra for what he thought it was.
Well,
there's people literally queue up at times.
There was a guy at the tour guide in Vietnam who did get paid for that service.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I remember you saying, yeah. Wow.
That made for a lovely conversation when we were sitting at the table and the guy on the table next to us kept listening in. And this tour guide would kept insulting him. And he's like, I hate when people listen to us and whatever and whatnot. And this is on a table where there's barely any space. There's less than the space of my hands here between the tables. So of course the guy's going to hear everything that's said.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, he went into detail about how he had this guy. He described him as a very fat American guy who paid him for that. And then he assumes the guy passed away from COVID because during that time he stopped messaging. So
there you go. Yeah, but his wife is still messaging. So
well, the wife doesn't know about the girlfriend, and yeah.
There you go. Yeah, exactly.
And the wife was okay with him being with other girls, but the girlfriend was going to be a problem, especially because she was 18 and her parents had an issue with it and whatever. And yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
This guy had craziest life ever. Yeah.
Pretty wild. All right. Sounds like it.
Now, these people have gone way too far.
Okay.
To besmirch the good name of Ryanair.
Okay.
They were forced to sleep on conveyor belts. So the luggage conveyor belts. As a due to a Ryanair nightmare. So they said they'd been left traumatized after they were forced to sleep on the airport's conveyor belts. They claim passengers were deserted when their flight was delayed by more than 20 hours.
Okay.
And they were left with no food or water.
Sure.
The flight was delayed and then eventually canceled due to bad weather.
Mm-hmm.
And they had to people had to sleep on the conveyor belts and the concrete floor.
I'm just gonna say, using the word forced. It's like they forced us to sleep there. No, it was there as an option. Nobody forced you. Nobody was like, you lie down and fucking sleep on that thing right now. So maybe this is dramatized a little bit, but yeah, I mean, look, you're at an airport. There's lots of things to do, so you don't have to.
Sometimes there isn't.
I mean, you can, if you're in the departures area, you know, yeah, stores and cafes and all that can close down. But this, like the luggage conveyor.
Well, these greedy pigs were given a voucher. Do you want to guess for how much?
€4.
Exactly.
Nice.
But it was voided in certain places. So.
Oh, okay. Well, €4. Where was it? Did they say what airport?
Lancazon. Where is? I went past it. Lanzarote.
Oh, okay. Well, I've never been there, so I don't know what the airport is like. But I mean, that's
one of the Canary Islands off the coast of West Africa.
Yeah. So you're gonna have good weather. You just go outside, or you know, just I mean, I don't know. Of all the times I've traveled, I've never felt forced to do anything by an airline, other than, you know, not break the law. That's all. So, but they all do that. They're all like, no, you have to follow the law. You know, no smoking, all that sort of crack. Yeah.
Sometimes.
I mean,
I'm literally in a battle of one where they didn't. But
yes, that's true. That's true.
We have to save that till matters progress.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were offered. Passengers were offered overnight accommodation. However, as there was limited hotel availability in Lanzarote, some passengers remained at the airport.
Okay.
But any passengers who arranged their own accommodation were advised they can claim reimbursement on Ryanair.com.
Okay.
This is according to Ryanair's thingy, though. So, of course,
it doesn't sound like they were forced into any terrible situation. Like, we'll put you up at hotels, but if you get your own accommodation, we will pay for that too. And we're going to give you €4 of a voucher. So come on. They're doing all they can.
Oh my God. Let's just completely forget that. There is an amazing place in Belgium. It is a hotel shaped like essentially a fleshlight of a butthole.
What?
It's called Casanus. C-A-S-A. So they have a capital A in the middle there. N-U-S in Belgium.
Uh-huh.
And you can even sleep in a bedroom inside the bumhole section.
Oh my God. What the fuck is this? Yeah.
So next holiday is set. Taking my fleshlight to visit other fleshlights.
I just don't know what to say. I'm not surprised, but I feel like we should have known about this long before now.
Yeah, I can't believe I haven't come across it before. My
There you go.
Studies.
Where'd you go on your vacation this year? Well,
just a photo of it would be, yeah. Now, what's the worst commute you've heard of? Morning commute to work.
Commute. Well, there was a time when Irish people would, because flights were so cheap, Irish people would like work in London, but so they'd have to fly with Ryanair every morning. So that is a terrible commute, just because of the Ryanair element. So
That
yeah,
was probably closer than this.
okay.
This guy says, should I leave this company sooner? I recently graduated and been at this company for like 4 months now, and I can't handle the daily horrible commute of 4 hours.
Oof.
Every day I wake up at 4:30 a.m.
Okay.
And question myself why I'm living like this and why it has to suck so much.
Uh-huh.
And you can't work from home because of the company's traditional mindset.
Okay. So is he doing 4 hours each way or 4 hours combined?
Each way.
That's bullshit. What the fuck did you get a job 4 hours away for? That's ridiculous. Move. Move to closer to work. Yeah. Sounds like, I mean, I would not do that. That is an extra work day on top of your work day, just getting to work. So, and back.
Even crazier is that it's across the border. So this is he lives in Malaysia, but the job is in Singapore.
Yeah, definitely move. It sounds awful. Yeah, I don't know why you would put yourself through that. And if it's a really super fucking job, it's well paid, like really well paid, then all right. But if it's like collecting baskets at the supermarket, then don't fucking do that. Go and work somewhere closer to home.
Yeah. I
Just
think
get on Fiverr.com, start selling your used underwear. It works for some people.
Again.
Yeah.
Well, this place is UK's worst pub.
Okay.
In UK, I ate at the worst pub in UK's worst city.
Okay.
A midweek lunch at the College Arms in Peterborough is a weird and surreal experience, so don't lose yourself.
Okay, I won't. It's fine.
It comes as the first I live here polling 3 out of the last 5 years as the worst place to live in the UK. And in the 2 it didn't win, it came right up at the top of the leaderboards.
I'm not sure win is the right descriptor here. Win the worst pub. You kind of lose it no matter what. But yeah.
Now both the leading contenders for worst pub had recently permanently closed.
Okay.
And so it fell to the College Arms to be the worst pub, according to this. Of its 224 reviews on the site, on TripAdvisor, 64 were 1 star.
Wow.
One review said, seems to be understaffed, tables clogged up with leftover plates and empty glasses everywhere.
Okay. Seems popular then. So.
It is owned by Weatherspoons, and it says that it's got to be the worst Weatherspoons I think I've ever visited, with the most miserable staff I've ever seen.
Wow, that's quite a statement.
It is on Broadway, though.
Okay.
It says it's not glamorous Broadway. Come Friday night, the pub is the prime destination for pre-drinking, away with the city's finest drunkards hankering for a cheap pint.
Nice.
Before indulging in blaring music and sticky double mixes in the Triple Stack nightclub Embassy, Red Room, and Flares directly across the road.
Okay. All right.
On a cold lunchtime, the surprisingly busy pub was warm with big windows letting in floods of light on 2 sides of the building. Always important in an article to cover that.
Yeah, absolutely. You gotta know what it was like natural sunlight wise.
Like so many inner city Wetherspoons, this is a vast boozer. Its true size hidden from view to passers-by on the street. Again, if only we knew that. That's life-changing information.
It is. Everyone needs to know. So
at the bar, I pulled up to the bloke with the reddest face I've ever seen, his skin flushed by years of heavy boozing.
Okay. Again, brilliant details.
Spotting him, the barkeep guessed his order. Will it be a Carlsberg? It was.
Wow.
Leaning into the destabilizing feeling that only people who spend time in discount boozers during the daytime will know, I went for a rogue chicken nugget wrap and a pint of Guinness.
In discount pubs, don't drink Guinness. Don't do that to yourself. But all right.
The whole thing came to just £6.67.
Okay, bit of a deal.
Now, he does say on a recent pub trip in London, I picked up a terribly poured Guinness for £6.80.
Yeah, terribly poured Guinness is common in the UK. So.
The deals were everywhere. Most of the beers appeared to be around the £2.50 mark, and infamous Ruddle's Best just £1.71.
Yes, indeed.
That is cheap.
That's bound to be awesome.
I mean, there's so many bloody details in this thing. He spoke to the bartender eventually, but my peaceful Guinness was thrown off by the constant barking of, James, can you refill the change in the till? What was it this gentleman ordered? The highlight of the trip came when my wraps arrived. Ordered initially as a provocative effort to make the day as strange as possible, I tucked into a delicious feast of crisp chicken and generous helpings of elite sweet and sour sauce. I bet you this person just graduated journalism college and thinks of themselves as like the next Shakespeare of 100%. Writing reviews.
You're waiting for their Pulitzer Prize for this review of a cheap pub lunch.
And they've mentioned about 20 times that they drank a Guinness.
Mm.
As I sunk deeper into my midweek fever dream, bits of conversations floated over. I don't talk to my dad, a girl and bloke with loud voices said seemingly almost in unison. I think it was a first date.
Okay.
As the steady flow of blokes in paint-splattered hoodies went by and phrases like welcome to Peterborough drifted into my ear canals, I felt the college arms pull up a big, smelly, but incredibly cozy blanket around me.
That's what you want, a big, smelly, but cozy blanket.
In the weird, I could stay here all day, I thought. In this weird haze, I saw the manager pouring sugar into an old bloke's tea for him as she told him what he was going to be ordering. We've got sausage, chips, and beans. Would you like that? Yep. Okay, great.
Beautifully articulated there. I love it.
Yeah. I don't even think this is like 1/4 of the way through. It's just,
wow.
Yeah, it's just life-changing.
Just, what was the upshot? Was the review 1 star or 5 stars? That's all I need to know.
He doesn't appear to have given any review himself, just that.
Just his masturbatory writing of his experience of going to this pub. All right, fair enough.
Midweek, this pub is pleasant and hellish in equal measure, but be careful in there because before you know it, it might be the old bloke staring blankly while a stern manager tells you what's for tea. Is how he ends it.
I mean, She didn't appear to ask if he would like that. It's not like she forced him to eat the food. But anyway, it is some top quality journalism right there. That's what you get into the journalism game for, reviewing the worst pub in the worst town in England.
Yeah. I mean, I'm expecting like something of interest, like someone threw a pint, blood on the floor.
Yeah. But instead, it just seemed like a regular pub that serves food.
And is cheap.
Yeah, nothing spectacular
and has, like,
about it.
Guys in work gear that are there at lunchtime because it's a pub. It's cheap.
Yeah, I mean,
like, imagine being that out of touch that the idea that there are guys in hoodies that have paint on it because they're obviously painters and as part of their job are there during the day.
Yeah.
Get cheap drinks and food.
Weirdly, they only stayed for 45 minutes, had some food, and fucked off again. Like, yeah, because it's lunchtime, you dumbass.
Yeah. I mean, just wow.
It's wild. What an experience this person had.
He says this was either heaven or prison, a strange in-between place where time stands still and everything is lovely in a terrifying way.
I mean, it sounded fine. I don't know why he's describing it like a prison. You can just walk, get up, and leave. You can't do that in a prison. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe some over sensationalizing things here, but there you go.
Yeah,
just wait for another 5 or 6 years. He'll have that enthusiasm beaten out of him completely with his overwritten bullshit review of a pub in the afternoon. So,
yeah, wow. It almost seems like a fun thing to take, like, super uptight people with no experience of the world, no experience of anything, and then just put them in these places.
Yeah. Right. Today, your assignment is to review the worst pub in the worst town. Like, just, it's not actually that, but just rile them up that this is the worst.
Yeah.
Then go into a perfectly fine place and be like, oh my God, this is like prison.
How dare the manager help an elderly person order?
Yeah, and how dare the bar person know the order that a regular in the bar was going to order like he does every day. Wow.
Yeah,
yes.
I mean, disgusting behavior.
How dare people who are on a date have a private conversation about how they communicate with their parents? This is weird. Like,
yeah. Well, just one word blew Prince Harry's chances of ending his feud with William. You want to guess what that word is?
Blowjob.
No.
Oh.
The key word in question features in a piece scribed in the New Yorker about helping celebrities tell their stories by his ghostwriter. The ghostwriter said, he mentioned my advice to trust the book and said he was glad that he did because it felt incredible to have the truth out there, to feel his voice caught free. There were tears in his eyes, mine too. They claim that the use of the word free is symbolic of the California-based prince's apparent attempts to burst out of constraints of life with the royal family. And William supposedly took particular issue with being portrayed as aggressive and jealous during an incident.
I mean, okay. Sounds like Willie's got some problems with anger management, but okay. Yeah, that's a weird one.
Yeah, well, that kind of is, just messed up. Now a cat is receiving death threats.
Okay.
After what?
Stealing thousands of kilos of cocaine.
Nope. I'll give you a clue. It won a race.
The cat won a race?
Yeah, the cat won a race, and it's receiving death threats as a result.
I don't. Did in some way the cat cheat at the race?
According to some people.
Okay. The transgender cat was in the race for female cats, but it was biologically a male cat. I don't know.
Not that, but it's along those lines.
Okay. Oh, okay.
The cat has received furious insults and even death threats after it was seen swimming in a dogs-only race.
Oh, no.
And it won. Gus the cat even placed in the dogs-only event that saw the Scotland Island dog race scuppered by a feline invader.
So who exactly is sending death threats to a cat? Who does that?
Well, the owner entered the cat into the race for a bit of a laugh. He beat out the feline competition. Gus has been swimming since he was about 11 weeks old. He swims with me, kayaks with me. For a laugh, we entered him in, and lo and behold, he came first in his category. Serious dog trainers threatened Gus and his owner. And yeah, so dog trainers have been sending in death threats.
Serious dog trainers who entered their dog in a swimming race. Okay. These people need to get out more, I think, is the thing. Yeah, leave the cats alone. And just take life way less serious.
A local man, Vinny, was asked about the cat and his involvement with the race and appeared to be more than furious with Gus. He said, "Then you get idiots bringing cats down. It's like you're taking the piss. It's like taking a knife to a gunfight. It's just not going to work. What are you bringing a cat for, mate?"
I mean, it's clearly not like bringing a knife to a gunfight because the fucking cat won. So, yeah, poor analogy there, my friend. But poor Vinny there doesn't know. He's just quite upset with what's gone on. I can't believe a little pussy beat his dog. But there you go. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand why people would send death threats to somebody or to the cat over that.
To a cat. Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. The cat and the dogs. I mean, they're just getting on with it. They don't give a shit. It's the people who are getting all upset. So, that's
I don't know.
cool.
I think the cat created all this. It's the cat's fault. Blame it on the cat. Take out all your anger on the cat.
I'm not a big fan of cats, but I feel like in this scenario, the dogs should have just gone faster. So if the trainers had trained them professionally and seriously, then they wouldn't have lost to the cat. So
that would have been the best comeback if they'd gone, well, train your dog better.
Exactly. Maybe if you fucking put in the effort, your dog would have won the fucking race. So
yeah. Well, finally, a Daft Punk dominatrix stuns a council meeting and Twitter with a plan for their sex dungeon.
All right. Well, I told her not to go public with it yet, but all right. See what happened.
Mistress and her two cronies were hoping to get lucky with their planning permission request, which they submitted while wearing leather-clad outfits and face coverings of a distinct Daft Punk style.
Awesome.
This was in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Making contact with the council people in the hopes of receiving approval for a new sex dungeon, Mistress made her request to the board face-to-face. She opened by saying, "Good evening, council peoples. You may call me Mistress. I'm here standing neutral to the motion of approving an agreement for the proprietary purchase of yard waste processing and disposal.
Okay.
She continued, I do, however, find it interesting that you will spend $1 million to hide your secrets down the drain, hiding that condom I know you used to cheat on your spouse.
Oh, interesting. It's getting racy.
Yeah. So I propose that you use $25 of that mill to support DOMs and subs in Bower County to build a dungeon created for us by us, the taxpayers and voting citizens. In closing, do not let this glamorous distract you from doing your duty to take my demand. I look forward to spanking each and every single one of you at the new esteemed dungeon. You are dismissed.
Beautiful. Beautiful. If it was the motion passed or...
Well, an unnamed councillor, clearly unmoved by the trio's request, bluntly replied, "Thank you and happy holidays to you." And another asked, "Are there any districts that even have a dungeon?"
Interesting. Doing some research. Where might I find one of these dungeons for research into this this project you have planned?
Yeah. And why were you there in Florida for a council meeting?
Research, just trying to help out wherever I can. It's all part of it. Yeah, I mean, hey, you got to get it out there and let people know what you want. So I'm proud of the dominatrix and her cronies, as I think they described them. So.
Yeah,
it's a better plan. It's a good plan.
She goes by the name Mistress, so don't go the wrong name.
I mean, all right then, Mistress. So, yes, good times had by all, and I'm sure that's not what they expected when they went to these council meetings, but yeah,
it's got to be fun for them, yeah, when they get home from work and have to explain.
Well, there was one interesting case came up at the meeting today.
They wanted a tax-funded dungeon for $250,000.
I think that's quite reasonable. I think you could spend $250,000 on ridiculous public spending programs, and this is one that everyone can enjoy. So,
or for like $100, they could buy us a drill and we could drill a glory hole.
I mean, that's true as well. So, yeah. We won't, we won't discriminate. It's all good. Anyone can use that. But I feel like though it's a good project. It should be passed. So yeah. Let's hope Mistress gets her way for once. Anyway.
Yes. Well, on that note, we have a dungeon to build.
Yes, indeed. Well, I'll go look up the plans. You research further councils and stuff that we can approach and take care of it from there.